everyone. This is Leah from Bounce Like with Leah. Welcome to my evening Wednesday night webinars. I have my wonderful friend with me, Andrea from Real Tired Mamas here with me tonight. And we just want to chat about Andrea and what she's doing. And I thought it would be fun change from my normal Wednesday nights where I just blab about whatever. So this time we'll have an actual conversation with one of my good friends, also fellow coach. And yeah, let's get into it. So Andrea, welcome to my Wednesday night. So happy
Thank you for having me.
filming this in the daytime, but we're gonna post it at night because we are all working mamas, and this is when we can do it. So you are the founder of Real Tired Mamas. You want to tell me about that?
Sure. So, over the past year of the pandemic, well, let's use air quotes there, I really pivoted in what I was doing. I've been, stay-at-home mom, Arbonne consultant for going on 3 years, and I just had this calling to do something else. And it kind of morphed into a different kind of coaching. And I was like, I'm a real tired mom. I'm at home with three littles, and I am exhausted all the time, which is quite a fun little story. So I was like, I know I'm not the only one. I know most of my mom friends are always like, I'm so exhausted. So that's kind of where the Real Tired Mama came from. And I'm just taking it on and embracing it and trying and using it to kind of change the narrative of motherhood through coaching women how to run. It's a long-winded answer.
No, I love that. So we met maybe what, I was trying to think, 4 years ago, I think.
Almost 5 years ago, because we met when I was pregnant with Ray, and Ray just turned 4.
Right. That's what I was trying to think. I was like, I think you were pregnant at the time with Ray. I was like, and he's 4. So I was like backtracking my brain. So we've known each other a long time. We met through Arbonne because we're sideline sisters. And we basically bonded over motherhood because we both have kids in similar age groups. So we basically bonded. So I'm always so impressed by you and the fact that you can like get up at like 5:30 in the morning to like do things and like run and train for a marathon, all these like crazy things. I'm always very impressed by that. So I think it's very, very cool that now you're embracing that and helping others do that too. So you want to talk about more about your coaching specifically?
Sure. Well, thank you for that acknowledgement, first off. So what I'm really doing with my coaching is teaching moms to run, which is going to have us putting ourselves first, which a lot of us don't do. We're told kids have to come first, husband, house, other family members, friends, and that we are at the bottom of our list, which I think is shenanigans. I'll keep the language PG around here today.
Oh, it matters.
Yeah, but that's kind of like what I'm doing is I'm teaching moms to run. I have a few different levels of programs, but the one that I'm really excited about is run and reset in 90 days, where we're taking your body, we're learning how to run and creating healthy foundations to kind of like reset your mind, reset your body, and build these healthy habits for not only yourself, but things that you can bring into your family. Because let's face it, if you're the only one in the house doing it, it kind of sucks. And you want to have that support. And you also, I mean, for me, I want to teach my kids healthy habits or healthier habits. Which, don't always happen, but that's okay because nobody's perfect.
Very, very cool. So what is your target audience? So
moms, real tired moms who are ready to put themselves back at the top of their priority list, take care of themselves, and are kind of basically fed up with this narrative of motherhood that we come last, except for one day a year. Maybe.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky. Our birthdays and Mother's Day, that's like about it.
I was even thinking like, what's the second one? 5:30
Yeah, we
birthday,
kind of get forgotten on our birthdays unless we have like really awesome families.
basically. That's very cool. No, I love that. I think even as a real tired mama myself, I can appreciate what you're doing because I feel like I need that because obviously I'm exhausted like constantly too, just because I have a 10-week-old and of course he's not sleeping. He's not so bad, I have to say, knock on wood, compared to my first. I they're night and day. At least he only wakes me up once, which is a drastic difference from my first. It was like every other hour. But it's still exhausting, mostly because I'm chasing a toddler all day, every day too. And you have 3 toddlers at home. I'm exhausted with one. So the fact that you have 3, I'm always very impressed with. And then you just trained for a marathon and ran a marathon all by yourself. So I really want to know how you pulled that off.
I pulled that off with a really awesome support system. Um, my husband and I really, we both like to be active and we both work out and we both work out in the morning. Um, and we, set up a schedule that would work for the both of us. And thankfully, we also have a treadmill in our basement. So on some of those days, like I could go downstairs and run on the treadmill. But it's really helpful to have that support. But I also set up a plan for myself so that I knew what I was running, when I was running. Um, and I would just get up and do that in the morning and be back usually during the week I was back before the kids got up from, because I'm blessed to have kids who like to sleep for the most part and sleep until about between 7 and 8 almost every single day. So that's really kind of how I did it. And I just like part of it was I was supposed to run this marathon last year and then the pandemic hit and it got canceled. So then I was automatically deferred to this year. And then I don't know, like maybe a month or so out, they canceled it again.
Yeah.
But I also knew that I wasn't gonna, it was in Canada, it's in Canada. So I knew I was like, I'm not getting across that border this year, especially if I'm not fully vaccinated, which now I am. Yay. But it was like one of those things where I'm like, well, I paid for it. I might as well train for it. Like it's gonna happen. So that's what I did. Which means I got deferred until next year. So I'm gonna have to train for it again. Not really a fan of that because it takes a lot out of my body. I'm like, let's add, toddlers, marathon training, coaching, all of the things. And it's like, because it takes a lot to train for a marathon. Like on my super long runs, I was running 3+ hours every Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Anywhere from like an hour to 3.5, it's a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can barely run a half an hour, so 3 hours. That's very impressive.
Thank you.
So how did you get into running?
Honestly, I started running in middle school just to get in shape for soccer. I lived in a soccer town and I was like, well, I think I didn't make the team one year or something. And I was like, I'm just going to do track to get in shape for soccer in the fall. And then because I lived in a soccer town when I hit high school, that I was like, I can sit on the bench or I can do something. So I switched over and started running cross country. And then my family decided to move, thankfully to a town. Actually, I had the option of going somewhere that didn't have cross country. I'm like, no, even though it was a better school, I'm like, no, I need track, I need cross country, I need something. Um, and then it just stuck, and I've been running ever since. So that's like over 20 years now. God, it's so weird to say.
Yeah. Don't want to think about that either, but I love that. No, I love that. And I'm like you said, I'm very impressed with the fact that you have kids that sleep. So I'm sure that makes things easier. I can't sleep past 6. Not by choice. There's always someone waking me up. Even without a baby, the other one always wakes up at 6. So, That's awesome. Do you have any like big tips you can share with someone? I know I have definite mamas watching with little ones.
Yes. Um, the big tips is if you're just getting started, start out super slow. Also, make sure you have a good pair of shoes.
Mm,
Support your local running stores to get the best assistance in picking out a pair of shoes. Get a good sports bra. If you're a nursing mom, there are definitely bras out there that like you can get that will allow you to nurse. Like if you go for a run and you get back and you're like, oh, the baby needs to nurse, pop that baby out, pop them on, you're good to go.
yeah. I just discovered there was nursing bra, like sports bras. And I was like, where was this? You know what I mean? Like I had no idea. So definitely make things easier.
Yeah, I have a couple. They weren't technically nursing sports bras, but they had the like a Velcro strap so that like I could undo that and then nurse and then put it back on.
Very, very cool. Thanks. So I know you do some programs throughout the year to help mamas run, especially beginners, start running and so forth. Do you want to talk about some of those programs? And I know you're starting one soon too.
Sure. So I have a 10-day challenge starting. The launch of it's going to be Monday, May 17th, and there's going to be like a little bit of a Zoom launch. And then the actual challenge will start on the 18th, which is a Tuesday, I think. Excuse me. And it's 10 days for 10 minutes a day for 10 days. There we go. If I could talk, that would be awesome. You're going to get moving. Like it's going to be all the things. Like one day it's going to be running, one day it's going to be, some at home leg stuff that you can do, some at home arm stuff that you can do, at home core. So, instead of 5-minute abs, it's going to be 10-minute abs. And really it's just to like get people thinking like, oh, I can do 10 minutes a day. Like
Yeah.
I can go for a 10-minute walk. I can go for a 10-minute jog. Um, I can find 10 minutes to get my body moving throughout the day. And the reason I picked 10 minutes is one, most moms can find 10 minutes in a day, whether it's first thing in the morning, midday, or in the evening even. Um, and there's a lot of research behind even just getting out for a 10-minute walk and how beneficial a 10-minute walk can be, um, for your body and your mind. And that's, really what exercise is all about, is keeping your mind and your body engaged and working properly.
Mhm. No, I feel like I definitely need to sign up for that because my biggest thing is I claim I have no time, but I know that it's priorities. But so 10 minutes definitely seems doable. So that seems like a
Yeah.
really
And
good
the
idea.
Thank you. And the other thing too is like as much as I want you to do it on your own, like if you've got littles, take them with you, do it with them. Like I recently talked to a mom, she's a single mom. She was in a place where she didn't really have any support. I'm like, her daughter was old enough to like go and do stuff with her. I'm like, take her with you. As much as I want you to do this on your own, if you don't
Mhm.
have that opportunity or that option, take your kids with you. I used to do it with Ray all the time, my 4-year-old. Um, we I would get up and we would get up together and I would take him on my runs when he was little. Not that he was ever really little, but that's another thing.
No, it's a very good point and good idea. And then they see you running and it's good, it's good encouragement for them too.
Yeah.
Very cool. So where can people find you? Plug where
People,
you're
great question. People can find me. I'm really active on Instagram and Facebook. Um, my Instagram handle is real.tired.mama90. Real tired mama 90, because I love the 90 days, 90 days to get you moving. Um, Facebook, just Real Tired Mama is my Facebook page. I do have a private Facebook group as well, which is Real Tired Mamas Get Moving. And then I have realtiredmama.com is the other place that people can find me.
Very cool. And I'll list all those things underneath this video for, that way everyone can find you, especially your private Facebook group, I know is really helpful. And also your Instagram posts, I always find very helpful. So it's very cool.
Thank you. I'm glad you're finding them helpful.
I do. I mean, I see other people do too. So I think it's very cool, especially because I can relate. But thank you, Andrea, so much. Yeah. So I will put everything underneath. And if anybody wants, I encourage, especially the mamas out there, to go reach out to Andrea, especially if you're like me and feel like a lump most of the time and need some encouragement and motivation and just some real mama to mama coaching. I think that's actually very helpful, especially because you're in the weeds with all of us and you figured it out.
Yes, and just also the other program that I have getting going, I have a new cohort starting in June, the first Monday in June, which I'm totally spacing on the date of that. I think it's the 6th, something like that. But that first Monday in June, I have a new cohort of 5 women who are, I still have spaces left at the time of this recording, to start the 90 days. So, and I will be doing 2 cohorts a month of 5 women just to keep it close knit, and so you really get to talk to, build relationships with these women, and share your struggles and your successes and talk about all the motherhood things that are like driving us crazy. What's that?
That's such a good idea. I love that. Especially it's helpful to have that bonding, especially other moms who are in it with you. I think that's a very good idea. I love that. Thanks, Andrea. Is there anything else that I missed?
No, I mean, obviously you and I could talk forever about everything. We're gonna have to make this more of like a thing going forward, of course.
It's true. So if you guys didn't see our first, this is actually part 2 where Andrea interviewed me for her people. So now we're tight, or tables are turning where I'm interviewing you. I can't talk either. What were you
I
gonna
was
say?
gonna say the true sign of a real tired mama.
Yeah, when your brain just craps out. All the time. Actually, I think I'm better at night than I am during the day. So yeah, so we will definitely have more conversation like this. I think this has been really fun. So if you guys didn't see the first talk, after this one, go and see the first one, and then obviously check Andrea out on all her channels and see her stuff, because she posts some really fun stuff. So thank you, Andrea.
Thank you, Leah. It's been awesome, and I can't wait to do more with you.
Yeah, me too. All right. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see everyone same place next week on my Wednesday night. Thank you.